3, 2, 1.
What's up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, June 2nd, 2019. $50,000 Bitcoin, $250,000 Bitcoin, $1 million Bitcoin. It's a topic that you just can't get away from, whether you're on YouTube or Twitter. I wanted to make a very quick, condensed video talking about these three price points integrated into our long-term chart, and I'll put a link below for you to check out this chart. If you want an explanation of this chart on a technical level, you can dive in and check it out. But let's talk about these three price points. I tweeted yesterday, I said, at current Bitcoin circulating supply, a $50,000 Bitcoin equals $900 billion market cap, a fraction of gold's market cap. It's true. It's a fraction, just a fraction of gold's market cap. Also a fraction of the entire global wealth of over $300 trillion. $50,000 Bitcoin is just the start. And I believe that. I am invested long-term in Bitcoin and Litecoin in the cryptocurrency space because I believe it will dominate in the future of our monetary system, how we invest, how we transact. I am long here. And so if I'm not thinking about these prices, and if I don't think these market caps are a possibility, why would I be long, right? And I think many people share that mindset. So I tweeted a $50,000 Bitcoin is $900 billion market cap. That actually needs to be slightly corrected. Here's an article, I'll post a link below in the description, talking about $1 million Bitcoin. But for underlying context of this video, I just want to point this out. Under this part, scenario for a $1 million Bitcoin, it says the total Bitcoin supply is limited to 21 million. Out of that, the market has likely lost, or unmined 36% of the coins. That amounts to 7.56 million Bitcoin units that remain inaccessible owing to human errors. It leaves the Bitcoin market with the remaining supply of 13.44 million tokens, the last of which would come into existence by the year 2140. So we're using those numbers. We're using lost Bitcoin, 4 million lost Bitcoin for context to the numbers that we're throwing around here. So as I mentioned, we have our long-term parabolic chart for Bitcoin. The explanation is in the link below if you want to check it out. We have a bunch of different technical analysis indicators as well as tools that we use, namely Fibonacci retracement, which you see here and here and here in the long-term trend of Bitcoin. Now, kind of barring all of that aside, I just wanted to plot out. I was curious, so I wanted to run the numbers. How do these price points play into this long-term chart, right? Now, this chart is just my speculative chart, having some fun with it, give or take, right? It's not like it's going to play out exactly, although that would be awesome and very nice if 10 years from now we can look back and it played out perfectly. But let's kind of go through it here. So we have our previous bear market that we're kind of just exiting, right? We're at the end of. We haven't truly entered the bull market, in my opinion. I think we need a couple more months of a solid uptrend to really firm up a true bull market, right? So we're still in this time frame now, but we have our next move for this parabolic trend. We had $90,000. You see it on this chart. We've had this for a while, since December 2018. It's been plotted there. A $50,000 Bitcoin obviously plays into that story, right? So $50,000 Bitcoin would be a $700 billion market cap for Bitcoin. It's $50,000 Bitcoin is incredibly attainable. It's one reason why I am invested in Bitcoin, because I truly believe it's so attainable. That would be around 14 million BTC in circulation, including the 4 million lost BTC. And this right here, I have it plotted on, this is like next summer, just for context, right? So give or take, this is a speculative scenario. And then from there, and like I said, feel free to read through the link in the description plotting this chart, because it gives you an idea of what's going on here. So from that move, right, to $50,000 and beyond, on this chart, $90,000, we have a retracement back to our long-term Fibonacci retracement, the 786 line, right? This would be an entrance of a new bear market, a new long-term correction, which I believe these things are very much needed for Bitcoin. Hence why we just had from previous all-time highs a correction. So Now we're going into like the year 2023 or so, and we're prepping up for our next bull market, which on this chart leads us to a $280,000 Bitcoin, right, in this chart by 2025. So again, our next stepping stone, $250,000 Bitcoin, which many talk about, is a $3.75 trillion market cap. That would be with around 15 million Bitcoin in circulating supply, including that 4 million lost BTC. Now, just to give you an idea, this is by 2025. This is still like 6 years away, number one. This is like half the market cap of gold. And what I like using gold because there is a transition happening in our world on a global scale. And I feel like gold versus Bitcoin just does a really simple way of illustrating that transition, which is to say, how do our generation and generations that are younger than us and generations to come, how do they want to invest? How do they want to transact? It's not gold, right? It's internet money. It's technological advance making our lives easier, and Bitcoin is the perfect example of that, right? So Bitcoin is this transition, and it's illustrated perfectly, gold versus Bitcoin. And this chart, right, we have this wealth transferring. This is what this chart is illustrating, a transfer of wealth from gold to Bitcoin, right? From an old way of doing things to a new way of doing things. And I think it's incredibly important to take note of that. And I think it's a huge reason why so many are long invested on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So $250,000 Bitcoin here charted. It plays into these charts, this long-term parabolic chart that we've been talking about since 2018. And then lastly, we have another correction, another bear market. And then this chart goes into 2028. This is what, nine years or so away. $1 million Bitcoin is up here. It doesn't play perfectly into our charts, right? But what does play into that chart to $1 million is the market cap of gold, right? Right around $8 trillion market cap of gold, around $500,000 Bitcoin. For Bitcoin to catch up to gold, we're talking around probably a $500,000 Bitcoin in terms of market cap. Will this transition of wealth, will this transition of the way people invest into things, old school versus new school, happen within the next 9 years? By 2028, will it happen quicker? Will it happen slower? I don't know, but there's a price point on your screen for Bitcoin to catch up to gold in market cap, around a $500,000 Bitcoin. This is incredibly condensed, everybody. There's so much surrounding everything that I'm talking about right now in these prices, but I wanted to illustrate it on a screen from a technical analysis perspective, from just a very simple illustration so that you can see on the screen the possibilities. I'm not trying to hype up Bitcoin. I am extremely bullish on Bitcoin. It's why I'm invested. I don't know why you would invest in Bitcoin if you're not extremely bullish. I know many people out there say, hey, let's get to 10,000 first. Let's get to 15,000 first. Fine, that's all good. We'll enjoy that ride. But if you're invested here and you're long-term like I am, you can't help but talk about these numbers. Let me know your thoughts below. I would love to know if you think these things are realistic. I would love to know if you're as long-term bullish as I am. If you think these are possible numbers. Just for context to end this video, $13 trillion market cap, $1 million Bitcoin. It sounds insane, right? It sounds crazy. It sounds almost too bullish. But if we talked about a $20,000 Bitcoin, just 9 short years ago, when Bitcoin was around, where are we on this chart? Around 6 cents. If we talked about a $10,000 Bitcoin, I think everybody would think you were crazy. So, take it for what it's worth. These are just numbers I'm plotting out for you. I truly do want to know your thoughts. Let me know below. Thank you so much for coming by today. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you as part of the channel. I will see you all in the next video. Have a great day, and God bless.